Think back to the last time you had an argument. What did your partner's body language tell you before they even spoke? Or have you ever felt like someone understood you before you even said a single word? Well, nonverbal communication encompasses all the messages we send without words, such as body language, facial expressions, posture, gestures, eye contact, tone of voice, and even silence. These signals convey more about our feelings, intentions, and emotions than we might realize. According to Looking Out, Looking In, nonverbal communication can sometimes express what words cannot. Emotions like love, anger, or surprise can be communicated through gestures and expressions alone. In today's presentation, I'm going to explore how nonverbal communication shapes our relationships, influencing everything from trust to conflict resolution. By understanding these cues, we can enhance how we connect with others. So, what is nonverbal communication? Well, nonverbal communication refers to the transmission of messages or signals through non-linguistic means. We communicate without using words in the ways that I spoke of earlier. According to Looking Out, Looking In, nonverbal communication accounts for the majority of our communication, with estimates suggesting up to 65% of all of our communication is nonverbal. Now I want to talk about a couple types of nonverbal communication. First one I want to talk about is kinetics. Kinesics. This refers to the use of gestures, facial expressions, and posture to convey meaning. A smile, a frown, or a simple hand gesture can convey emotions or intentions without saying a single word. For example, crossing your arms might indicate defensiveness or disagreement, as discussed in Looking Out, Looking In. The next one I want to talk about is proxemics. Proxemics is the study of personal space and how we use distance in communication. People from different cultures or relationships may interpret physical distance differently. Looking Out, Looking In emphasizes that intimate relationships tend to have closer proximity, while professional relationships and acquaintances typically maintain more personal space. The third one I want to talk about is haptics. This deals with touch. Touch communicates various messages. A handshake can symbolize a greeting or agreement, while a hug can show affection or comfort. According to Looking Out, Looking In, touch can convey emotions more intensely than words can. It varies greatly depending on culture and context. The fourth one I want to talk about is paralanguage. Paralanguage refers to tone, pitch, speed, and rhythm of our voice. It's not just about what we say, but how we say it. For example, a calm tone can ease tension, while a raised voice might signal anger or excitement. The last one I want to talk about is appearance. Our physical appearance, including clothing, grooming, and posture, plays a significant role in how others perceive us. According to Looking Out, Looking In, people often form impressions about us based on how we look, which can affect the way relationships develop. So, how does nonverbal communication impact relationships? Well, first of all, it can affect trust and connection. Nonverbal cues help build trust and emotional connection. According to Looking Out, Looking In, when someone maintains eye contact, has an open posture, or mirrors another person's movements, it signals sincerity and warmth. Looking Out, Looking In suggests that nonverbal cues, like maintaining an open posture during an argument, can foster productive discussions and help resolve disagreements. The next point I want to talk about is emotional expression. Often, nonverbal communication is more reliable than words in conveying emotions. A person's frown, tearful eyes, or even a warm smile can express feelings more clearly than verbal statements. In relationships, actions, like a comforting hug after a tough day, often communicate emotions more effectively than words. According to Looking Out, Looking In, nonverbal cues help people express complex emotions that are difficult to articulate. The third and final point I want to talk about is conflict resolution. Nonverbal communication is essential for managing conflict. A calm tone, open body language, or silence can de escalate a tense situation. In contrast, defensive body language, such as crossing arms, avoiding eye contact, can worsen conflicts. Looking out, looking in suggests that nonverbal cues, like maintaining an open posture during an argument, can foster productive discussions and help resolve disagreements. Now, some of my favorite shows have examples of nonverbal communication, and I want to share some of those with you. First one I want to talk about is Ross in Friends. Ross's frustration is often visible through his exaggerated gestures, tense posture, and quick movements before he even says a word. This demonstrates how body language can reveal internal states and influence relationships. In The Office, Jim's subtle facial expressions and eye contact with the camera often convey his inner thoughts, especially in his relationship with Pam. These nonverbal cues reveal much about his feelings, showing how powerful nonverbal communication can be in shaping perceptions and interactions. So, now I want you to think of a time when someone's body language communicated something to you before they even said a word. Maybe you write some of these down so you can think about it in the future and start writing down what you see other people do and how you can see their emotions before they speak. Now I want to talk about how nonverbal communication can be used in certain fields. In an interview with Audrey Hamilton, renowned expert in the field of facial expression and nonverbal behavior, David Matsumoto, states that learning to read microexpressions and nonverbal behaviors in general can be very valuable for anyone whose job is to understand other people's true feelings, their thoughts, their motivations, their personalities, or their intentions. For an occupation such as interrogation or law enforcement, learning to read nonverbal cues can help you find if someone is showing signs of guilt or not. Nonverbal communication affects your everyday life, and it can also be used extensively in certain fields. Now, I want to show you a short, kind of comedic video about how, in certain fields like law enforcement, people read your body gestures.
Two things you didn't know about your body language. Did you know that gesturing with two hands instead of one is a sign of lying? One hand shows confidence, two hands shows anxiousness, and also, hiding your palms is a sign of nervousness. But best bet is not to lie, but if you do, don't leave a clue. Two things.
I like this video because it's a very short explanation of what I just explained. In jobs such as interrogation, your nonverbal cues are essential for people to understand if you're lying or not. Nonverbal communication is a powerful tool in relationships, conveying emotions, fostering trust, and even helping to resolve conflicts. As looking out, looking in highlights, nonverbal cues often speak louder than words, shaping our interactions and how we are perceived. Next time you're with someone important to you, pay attention to their nonverbal cues. What do their gestures, facial expressions, or even silence tell you about how they're feeling? If actions speak louder than words, what are you saying through your body language? Thank you.